Alright, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Slipknot tier list. Let's get straight into it. This is going to be reasonably quick and easy because there's only like 7 Slipknot albums, but I still figured this is a video that was worth doing. I originally considered doing a ranking of every Slipknot song, but I've already done a tier list of that I didn't post on the internet, so it wouldn't really be as authentic if I did do that. I mean, if you guys want me to, then I'll still do that. But yeah, let's get in. So first one, self-title. Like it or not, this is the most Slipknot-y Slipknot ever was. If anything, that's why the album is called Slipknot. Because, like, this was peak Slipknot sound. This is the most Slipknot-y Slipknot has ever sound, is sort of my stance on this album. And it's truly just awesome. There really aren't any bad songs on this album. It's really amazing. And, you know, S tier, I don't think I need to say anything more. Iowa, again, a really accessible death metal album, you know, probably some of the heaviest stuff that's ever been mainstream. And, you know, do I really have to say much? Of course, it's S tier. I gotta slow down and talk about these more, or else I'm gonna have a really lame and short video. Okay, Volume 3. This album's a bit more interesting. It got not the greatest reputation just because it came right after Iowa, and, you know, Iowa was heavy as balls, and then, like, Volume 3 had a bunch of goofy acoustic songs. But I do think it's a good album. You know, it's got variety. That's what you can say about it, because it's got, like, really chill acoustic songs, or just, like, really chill and soft songs in general, like Danger, Keep Away, Vermilion Part 2, and Circle. But at the same time, it's got, like, heavier stuff like 3-0. And, it also features, like, just more accessible metal songs in general, like, you know, Duality and, Before I Forget were really mainstream sounding. I don't really like Duality and Before I Forget as much. I think they're just kind of overrated songs, but they did pull in a good amount of regular people, which is always special. I would put it between A and B if I could. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. The end not the end so far. All Hope Is Gone. I think this album is underrated, but not by much. It's definitely not an absolutely amazing album. But, you know, it's also... Oh, man. You know what? I'm gonna put Volume 3 back in B tier. This is an interesting album, because, you know, it's got, like, really hardcore, just heavy, chuggy death metal songs like Vendetta and Gematria, The Killing Name. But it's also got, like, really soft and just heartfelt songs like Snuff. Snuff is kind of a special song. A lot of people don't really like it. They say it should be like a Stone Sour song instead. I kind of disagree for 2 reasons, both because Corey Taylor himself said, no, it's not meant to be a Stone Sour song, and I wrote it specifically for Slipknot. And also just because I feel Snuff holds more significance being in this, like, death metal album. Because, like, if it was a Stone Sour album, it wouldn't have been as special. But because they put it on this, like, death metal album, and it's surrounded by crazy songs like Vendetta and Psychosocial and Gematria, that's what makes it so special, because, like, when it's out of the normal, you sort of listen to it more and pay attention to it more. If it were on an album of a bunch of songs that sounded exactly the same, it just wouldn't be as special. So, I do think this is a good album, but it's not quite A tier. I'll put it in B. The Gray Chapter. The Gray Chapter is an interesting album. I mean, I would say, in my opinion, that The Gray Chapter is the worst album Slipknot ever made. But it's still good, though. That's the thing about it. Like, it's even though it's Slipknot's worst album, it's still pretty good. I mean, even Joey said that he liked the album. So, I'll put it in. Oh, crap. I'll put it in C because I mean it's still a good album. It's just it's Slipknot. Yeah, it's got like cheesy kind of garbage songs like Kill Pop, and generally this album is just filled with songs that you're like, okay, I've never heard this song. Because, I can name a bunch of songs on this album, but, it's not like I've listened to them. However, it does have Custer and Devil and I. Custer and Devil and I are both really sick songs, and truly prove that Slipknot, at its worst, is still pretty great, which I think is, special. Okay, next up, We Are Not Your Kind. We Are Not Your Kind is a really sick album, and considering that this came so late in their career, I think that makes it all the more special that they're still able to make stuff this good. Like, Nero Forte is my favorite Slipknot song, and Unsainted, I think, is maybe my second favorite Slipknot song. It also has other good songs like Soulway Filth and Critical Darling. So yeah, it's really good, but I wouldn't say it quite compares to Iowa and Self-Title. Okay, final one. The End So Far. This is a really underrated album, in my opinion. Like, even if they tried to milk Joey Jordison to get this album more popular, it is still a good album. And I honestly think it gets much more hate than it deserves. It's, I mean, I get how someone could just listen to Adderall and then think, wow, this is garbage, I'm not listening to the rest of the album. And that's pretty much what I expect, because, Adderall is a pretty terrible song, so if you just hear that and let that be your analysis of the album, then, I can sort of understand how you could end up not liking this album, but, like, it has many other good songs. Like, Yen is this emotional masterpiece. The Dying song is really great. What else? Chapeltown Rag, that's also really good. But yeah, I think it's a good album. I would put it between B and A if I could. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll put it in A. I mean, The End So Far is pretty much just Iowa, but with higher production value. At least in my opinion. And also more electronic elements, Like, this is probably the closest thing they've done to Iowa since then. It's just, they've finally been able to reach that level of heaviness and chaos that they haven't been able to reach in a really long time. And, even if Slipknot's lost half of their members, I'm excited to see where it goes next, because, and the fact that that album came out in 2023 and it is that good is just truly special to me. That a nu metal band from like the early 2000s that has lost like half of its members and is surrounded by a bunch of other nu metal bands like Linkin Park, Korn, System of a Down that are all on hiatus of some sort. The fact that Slipknot is, like, one of the few nu metal bands that's still going, and they're going this good, is great, because, some bands, like, I don't know, Bring Me the Horizons, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, used to be sick and are now just kind of garbage and make these obscure radio rock pop songs. Slipknot is still making truly amazing stuff that has, like, a bunch of playlist-worthy songs on it. Hive Mind, that's the other song on this album. I was thinking, like, surely there's one song I'm forgetting to talk about. Hive Mind. When I first heard Hive Mind, I didn't even realize it was on that album. I genuinely thought it was a self-titled song. That's how, like, true to its sound it sounded. What else can I talk about? There's also that, like, EP album, Mate Fee to Kill Repeat. In my opinion, it doesn't really count as a real Slipknot album, at least in my opinion. And also, it just wasn't included on this tier list, and I didn't want to add it, but, that probably would have gotten, like, D if it was on here. So out of all these, which one do I think is the best? Probably Self-Title. I mean, Iowa is still really good, but I think Self-Title is better because it actually brings in more other special elements. That's why I like Self-Title more than Iowa, because Iowa is just heavy. That's pretty much it. It's just this heavy death metal album. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I like, other elements being experimented with too. Like, We Are Not Your Kind. It's like, you can tell, it's like when you give a new metal band modern equipment and they do something absolutely glorious with it. It can pretty much sum up We Are Not Your Kind in the end so far. Oh, what else? Yeah, I guess that's it. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I'm down to, maybe I can do like a Linkin Park album tier list. I could try to do a Korn tier list. I don't know as many Korn songs. I know like at least 10 Korn songs, and that's about it. So I could probably do a Korn tier list if I wanted to, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, doing a Linkin Park album tier list would be the next step. So yeah, that's it. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video, but only if you actually liked it. Take care, people. Goodbye.
Hey there, baby boy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know you want to so bad. Subscribe right now. It would make me so happy. It would just